I am Catherine Sapphire with Green Jay Landscaping, speaking with Martin Laskin of Hastings, New York, and he's going to talk to us a little bit about his property. So my first question is, what was your landscape like before you started talking to us, and what were the existing conditions? What did you want to change? What were the design goals? That kind of thing.
Okay, well, I've been in the house for 45 years. And this is my third garden. And I designed the first two by myself. The first one was basically a monoculture of Vinca minor and ornamental shrubs, which were mostly Asian, mostly rhododendrons and azaleas. It was very pretty. It was a showcase. It was lovely. It was also dead, except for what was growing there. I didn't have animals. I didn't have much insect life. Some birds would nest in the bushes. I've been for many decades, very depressed about the state of the world, the degradation of the biosphere. I decided, let me try to do something.
Yeah.
So I started trying to find somebody who would help me design an ecologically sensible. And I found Jay, and I called him up and we started talking. We immediately bonded. I gave him carte blanche. The garden is for the planet. We need to do something to correct the things that we've done that are bad. Anyway, so Jay designed this garden, presented me with a proposal, and I just said, I trust you to do what you're going to do. It's spectacular. It's less work, surprisingly, than any other garden I've ever had. Since I asked Jay, what do I do about all the leaves there? The leaves.
Yeah, they're great nutrition. Yeah.
Yeah, and what about cutting down things that are not doing? So, it really is wonderful. It's provided tremendous pleasure. There's something always growing. And it's covered with pollinating insects. Literally covered.
Yeah.
It's very little work for me. Whatever work I feel like, most I go do observing.
Yeah.
I'm being boy naturalist in my own yard. I told all my neighbors who know about gardening, I said, you want to take a cutting, you know what you're doing, take a cutting,
yeah.
let's stuff spread around.
That's how it works. You have to, yours is like a micro habitat, but you just start connecting with your neighbors and you're making pathways for pollinators and birds.
We have the Pollinator Pathway Project here in Hastings.
Yeah.
Which of course I signed up for. I also signed up for the National Wildlife Foundation Wildlife Habitat Certification.
Great.
And they sent me a little sign, which I very proudly have as you walk in my front walk.
Yeah.
I really feel wonderful about doing something that will make the planet better rather than worse.
Right.
That's my principal motivation.
Like you said before, get overwhelmed with the headlines of what's going wrong in our environment and all of the development and negative impacts we've had as a society. But when you start focusing on what you can do as an individual and as a community and a neighborhood, it's really inspiring, and you can see the differences right before you with all the pollinators and activity.
Well, the Pollinator Pathway Project here is really taken off.
Mm-hmm.
It really has become a focal point for the neighborhood. And biodiversity is an incredibly important thing. This garden is incredibly diverse. There's something always in bloom. There are all sorts of animals. It's a great pleasure. And as a result of the garden, as I said, I got more interested in entomology, so I got myself some entomology texts. Now I'm doing more birding, looking at the birds again. Lots of goldfish. Never gotten any goldfish before, but they still love. Well, they like the Rudbeckia, they like that, and the echinacea. They're crazy about the echinacea.
Yeah, and the seeds are just great for them from fall through the winter. That's why we leave the perennials up for the birds and also the insects that overwinter in the stems. So many of our garden maintenance traditions, we're just finding that they're kind of pointless. They're aesthetic and not ecological, and I'm so glad that you can see that too.
The idea of gardening with nature instead of nature is the guiding principle.
Yeah, releasing control and just taking inspiration and letting it evolve.
I had a whole bunch of monarch butterflies. this year.
Awesome.
It really was awesome because I haven't had any in previous years.
Yeah.
And I think they all were from my milkweed plants. I have sphinx moths.
Hmm.
I had never had any on my property before.
Nice.
And the hummingbird sphinx moth, the ones with the clear wings.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm hopeful for the first time in decades.
Hmm.
In decades. I want my tenure on this planet to have been good for the planet. This is a very big deal for me. It's not just about having a pretty yard. It's something I want to do. It's my legacy in life. It's very important. I'm in charge of it for a little while.
Yeah. It still belongs to nature.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank
And
you.
keep doing what you're doing. And as I said, I'm a really happy guy.
If you like what you've seen, check out our website, greenjadelandscaping.com.